go to the Tools panel of Affinity Designer and select the Pi tool. So with the Pi tool selected, it's a vector design. It can be any size. Simply drag, but you can also hold down the Shift key. So you can make it fairly large, but it's circular. And you can see it starts with this 90 and 0. That's the start angle there, end angle 0. Now you can go here, and that you can move that, and you can see as you do that, the start angle changes. This little red dot, it's an interactive control. You can just change them there. You can also go up here and change them there. So you can just change it so it can move backwards and forwards like that. You can also do end angle. Now you can also do this angle as well. Now that's just a summation. So it works it out, and because obviously it's a circle 360 degrees. And also if you decide, you know what, I want to close it very quickly, click there. Just close Pi. But also you've got this option, which is really good, the whole radius. And not only can it be used to create a Pi design, it can all be used for this. You can make a little nice like there, make it set it to 37%, and you can vary it, say 53, 73, and so on. So you can make it like that size, and also it's interactive still. So you can just drag it backwards and forwards like that. So you can change it, but you can see what you've created. You've created this lovely ring design. Now say you've got this, and I'm just going to change this. So you've created like a U shape. You think, you know what, that would be nice as a ring. Again, you can do exactly the same as before. Close Pi, and it just quickly closes it. Also what you can do is, obviously if you create a design you really like, you can always go over here, which is always good, and just click there, and you can then create a preset. So you can just create a ring 1 preset, and that just saves everything that you created there with all these settings. What you can also do is just a layer, just a standard layer, go to effects. So click effects. You can go maybe, oh, you know what, I want a gradient overlay. We've obviously got a gradient already. You can fill it with anything, reds, greens, blues, colours, bitmaps, whatever. But you can also use this. You can got blend modes, you can run through and just maybe go for light and difference, etc. So you can create some very interesting, colourful designs just by going with gradient overlay. Or maybe go for bevel. So you can have a bevel there, pillow. There's a lot of functionality here in this setting. Or maybe 3D. So just go for it. To make it, to use it, make certain that's highlighted. Quite often I'm working away and I'm working on the wrong panel. That's the key thing. Selected, and also it's highlighted there. And you can modify the radius and you can change things. And I'm going to click close at that point. So it's just a layer that you can see little effects there. However, once you've got this design, what you can also do is you can use the contour feature. The contours feature is absolutely brilliant. You can use it with all these settings as well. Also, you'll notice, weirdly, this has become a donut. So the Pi tool and donut tool are really quite linked, even though they're called different. You can see there you've got the donut tool, Pi tool. They're actually the same tool, just called slightly different, just to confuse things. However, what you can also do, you can then contour, as I was just going to say. So contour, and you can just drag in and out. And you've got a lot of different settings. You've got this radius setting. So maybe go for, you know what I want, say a say 4. Say 4 like that. Just 4. Very subtle radius. Or maybe go for 10. And you can see as you do that, it just pushes it out a bit further. Maybe go for 100. But there's also other settings. Now, of course, with this design, it doesn't obviously make any difference. So you can click those, you can see it obviously has a slight effect. You can see it just change, but it doesn't do anything visually. Obviously it's not, and likewise this. Now that's more useful if you go for the Pi itself, but with the ring, not so much use. However, what you can also do, you can go over here. You've got this option here, which is auto closed. Now that is more useful, this fill thing. So you can just go there and you can then resize that and you can see what happens. You get 2 rings. 2 rings for the price of 1. Now, of course, you can always create another couple of rings, because what you can do, you can just copy it. It's just a layer. Just go over here to the move tool, and I always have to check actually. Is it selection tool? Move tool. Move tool. Some applications have it selection, sometimes it's move. Why isn't everyone consistent? Who knows? But you can obviously just duplicate it very quickly. And of course, you notice when you make it smaller, it joins there, which is slightly inconvenient sometimes. But there's a way around that. You'll notice when you're using this and you go to the contour tool, there's a bake appearance. So if you want to freeze this at any point, you want, you know what, I like this design, that's what I'm going to go with. You know, you've done all these, you've run through all these, you're happy with it, happy with the sizes, etc. Everything's all done. You can always click bake appearance. And that's what it does, it freezes it. So I'm just going to click there. And what you see, it becomes curves. So you might not want that. You might not want it. So if you want just to keep it as donut so you can modify it, again, you can just go back to these tools, tweak things. Like I say, just move that around. But as soon as you click this feature, the bake over here, it unfortunately has a tendency, well, that's it. Puts it, completely freezes it. But I'm happy with that design now. I know I'm going to go with that. So bake appearance with the contour. And the thing is, now, if I resize it, it doesn't sort of go, oh, you know what, I'm going to squeeze in and you lose it. So it's just left like that with that, obviously, double ring. And again, you can always, of course, create multiple, etc., combine layers, all those sorts of things. But what you can also do, it's just a layer, just a standard. You can go again over to the contour, just select it there, and you've got all of these options again. You can always just expand it out and you can see, do exactly the same. Now, weirdly, it always goes back to the auto close. Don't know why, it would be nice if it remembered that you used the other one. However, you can always put it back to that one. Just click there, force. And you can then just use it and you can see now what you can do. You can create obviously some more rings. Now it does start to get a bit messy sometimes. You can apply it, work with it, you go bake appearance and then try it a few times and it starts getting a bit, so it's not always perfect, but you can push it certainly to 2 or 3 without it causing too much of an issue. And you can change this, the radius, you can modify that so you can make it crunch again, so you've got a slightly, you can see it's obviously slightly thicker in that central part than there as well. And again, bake appearance if you want to do that. Now also what you can do, you've got these options here, you've got width, so you can modify that. You can see that's got a gradient there, and you can tweak the colours, you can go through all these. And again, because of the blending modes, and obviously over here, you've still got the effects. That's still on. You can change it. Turn around and say, you know what, I don't want that one. I can always turn around, gradient overlay, remove it, it's gone. Bevel emboss, I can put a bevel emboss in, and so on and so on. So you can create a variety of different designs just by using this. However, we've done the bake appearance. Now, what you can do, you notice over here in layers, and this is the key thing, it says bracket curves. Bracket curves means you can use the node tool. So node tool, select over here, here's the node tool. So you've got the node tool, you can then use that to modify the points. So you can just drag this out, so you can distort it, create all kinds of variations. You can always also just go around it. So you can say, you know what, let's just click there, click there, click there, all around this contour. This contour, you could just go add all these points. And of course, with all the points, you can see all the dots there. You can turn around and say, oh, let's just drag that out. Or maybe that one. And so on and so on. You can just drag that out and create a variety of other shapes. And so on and so on. Make a very abstract shapes that way. Also, what you can do, just go over here and I'm just going to select this shape. You've got brushes. So you've got these, you can go this point, you can just go and say, you know what, I don't want 13. I can just change that, and you change that, you can see that changes as well. Again, you could change the colour, maybe go for black. Then you can also go, oh, you know what? There's 3 other options here. To be honest, this last one I've always found is slightly the not so much use, but you can also just go for here for dash. And you can turn around and say, let's go for the dash. Now, if you've got pressure, and you can see nothing changes. If you go here, this dash, nothing changes. The reason is always is that you've got pressure. As soon as you've got pressure, it will not work. So you need to go reset. Reset it, then go to the dashes, and then you can get your dash design. And you can create a variety of different dash designs you can see around there. Create some very abstract, unusual designs that way. And of course, you can always get rid of it. However, what you can also do is you can apply brushes as well. So you can go to View, and everything in Affinity Designer, all the panels, all there, View, Studio, and Brushes. And then you can brushes, you can just select one. And you obviously, sometimes it just defaults to the 167, which of course is going to oversize this. But you can always go up here to the brushes, and you can change it. So you can always turn around and say, you know what? But it just gives, I think, a more sort of like hand-drawn, organic look to your design. And you can tweak things. You can always turn around and click there and say colours. You know, I don't want the colour I've got. I'm just going to go with purple or with blue, or maybe go for nothing. You just go here. You can always set the fill to nothing. Click there and you can see then you just get this nice hollow design with your contour, with the pie design, which is still editable. So you can still edit this design and modify it in many other ways. Also, you can go to View and Studio and Appearance. Now, Appearance is great because you can see here, Appearance. Got this. You can go down here, Add Stroke. So click there, you can add another stroke. So you can turn around and say, oh, I want red. And you can see you can get a red. So this one, I'm just going to increase the size, and you can say there. Now, because that's above, so you can always just drag that up. And you could put the black one, so you can combine it. So you can see now you've got this red brush stroke, so the brush stroke in black, and you've got the red as well. Just lovely shine through. But also you can go here still and add another stroke. Maybe change the size, maybe change that one, maybe make it bigger. Up to you. Create or maybe make it smaller, and so on and so on. Variety of different designs can be added to this contour design to create, well, all kinds of unusual shapes. And that's all simply just go over here, all the way from Pie Tool. So Pie Tool, just apply it and you can see your initial design. And of course you can always combine them as well. Don't have to have it just one, maybe 2 or 3. Whole range. This can be used again. However, what you can also do, No Tool, you can break things apart. Turn around and say, you know what, don't want it like that. It's a bit too, not, I would say perfect, but you could say it's a nice vector. It's a closed path. Maybe, you know what, I want that, say that point there. Just select a point on your contour. You can go down here. You've got actions. So with an action there, you can always click there. And straight away, what you can do, you can break it apart. And then you can just drag that. You know what, I want that bit further down. Now, you can always add another point there. Maybe just drag that, just so you can just sort of, so you can see, just create a bit of, again, maybe that central bit, you've got that central ring. You think, well, you know what, I don't want that to be so perfect. I just click there. And again, do exactly the same. You can break it apart. So it's just snapped apart. And you can move those around. Again, you can always add some more points if you want. Just tweak it so it just moves up a bit. And again, you can add one there and, you know, just create a variety of different designs. Doesn't have to be, you know, absolutely, you know, pristine design. You can tweak that contour design, that pie design, all the way from that initial one. And of course, as mentioned, you can duplicate it. It's just a standard layer over here. You've got your design here. Resize it. Rotate it, all those sort of things. You can also hold down the Alt Option key and just duplicate that design. Duplicate the design, and so on and so on. Maybe resize that as well. Maybe use different brushes. So you've got that brush on there. You know, let's just select another one. Then go and obviously resize that. And you can see then you've got that. Again, key thing, Appearance panel. That's the Appearance panel is for that, the selected item. So if you use, the other ones are going to be untouched. So you decide, you know what, I don't want red for that one. So you can click on that and you can bring it up and make it green. So you can create a green contoured pie slice design and everything else as well. Well, hope you found this tutorial of interest. Thank you much.